What would Jesus do? Oftentimes this question is kicked around. People ask. And if we individually answer this question, whether we do it out loud or in groups, all of our responses will differ. But have we ever paused long enough to pay close attention to what he's already done? Let's go to work. If we truly understood what he's already done, asking the question repetitively about what would Jesus do would actually be irrelevant. And here's why. I will attempt to give you just a few examples of accomplishments of his completion. But if I attempted to give them all, this video would never end. So one of the first examples of an accomplishment that he has done, number one, is that he cleared a path for us. He removed anything and anyone out of our way to do something different. What that different is totally up to you. Number two, he took the beatings for us. That's why we were reminded by his stripes we are healed and not our own. But some of us are just gluttons for punishment. That's self-imposed. But one of the biggest ones is number three. And that is that he paid the ultimate sacrifice for us. I'm going to leave that one there. Number four, he granted us permission to do greater works than he. Let that sink in. So what would Jesus do? I'll get back to that in a few. But let me explain to you some things what he won't do. Number one, what he won't do, he will not sit around waiting on you. Because he know that most people will sit around and just wait for nothing forever. So he won't sit around waiting on you. He'll just focus his attention on someone poised to do the greater works. He's not going to sit around and wait on you when you say you're waiting on him. Number two, he will not complain. Doesn't have a reason to. If he were going to complain, his sacrifice would have been unnecessary. But in the midst of man complaining, what Jesus will do is he will swipe left or swipe right to find the one or the ones who are ready to adhere to his instructions. Number three of what he won't do. He will not circle back. Regardless of what you've been taught, what you've been led to believe, he will not circle back. Meaning, he doesn't look back. You will make adjustments and fast forward yourself to get to him. So, when we ask the question, what would Jesus do? The real question should be, W.W.Y.D, which is, what will you do? Instead of always asking the question, what will Jesus do? Food for thought. He's done it already. He already did it. And the reason he did it is because he knew that most of us would do nothing at all. So why are we really sitting back wasting time? Wasting time to meet him, just to tell him we were waiting on his return, when he told us to be found doing something when he come back. This may shock and scare a lot of people, but I can tell you this: he's not coming back for nothing. He's coming back to add to something. Also, let that sink in. So instead of asking, what would Jesus do? You should really concentrate on two other questions. What will you do? And what is he doing? I can tell you what he is doing. He's sitting back watching to see if you're going to make moves that he freed you up to accomplish in this life. He's going to sit back and watch you either make moves or stay stagnant in life to accomplish something or make excuses for nothing. You'll only understand this if you are a doer. But I would just ask that you or we stop disappointing and disrespecting the acronym of what would Jesus do, and repay the acronym with the presence of what you're supposed to do, and that's to make a difference in this world. What would Jesus do? He did his part. The real question is, will you? You've been freed, you've been released, and somebody paid the price. The freedom is yours, and the rewards are endless. Stop asking, what will he do? Start focusing on what you're supposed to do. If you focus on what you will do, then the answer is you already know what he would do.